It's very easy to know why I am being prosecuted and no one else it's being charged or prosecuted. It's very easy. I called the FBI to report Bill Barr and Armstrong Williams. I have notes of every single meeting. One meeting can be about visa for someone, or another meeting can be about January 6th or RICO case. I have a quote here that was like, Barr believes the FBI will go to Trump house soon. And one thing that I heard a lot is like how they go to prevent America to have Trump again. One thing that I learned very fast and very in the beginning is like, Bill Barr is someone extremely important. And I remember the biggest conversation they had at that point, it is like, what kind of charge that we can bring against Trump? And that's when Bill Barr, and I will never forget that, Bill Barr was like, we should bring RICO because it's a very difficult type of charge to defend. Armstrong has these powerful friends. He's friends with like Bill Barr, he's friends with Ben Carson, he's friend with the mayor of DC, and he has like all this list of powerful people and people like with a lot of money. I know they do some business together. All the time Armstrong needs something, he calls Bill Barr. Like can be, for example, approve a visa for someone, he calls Bill Barr. Or for example, do some kind of lobbying with, for example, Turkish Airlines. He calls Bill Barr. Bill Barr is like the person that we call to resolve any kind of problems or situations. I have notes of every single meeting. One meeting can be about visa for someone, or another meeting can be about January 6th or RICO case. In February 27 of 2023, here's my notes, they launched this meeting about RICO case. I do not know if they have meetings before about that. That was the first time that I heard and that I learned about that. So they bring that case against Trump, and I remember the biggest conversation they had at that point, it is like, what kind of charge that we can bring against Trump? And they discussed like few charges under American law, and that's when Bill Barr, and I will never forget that, Bill Barr was like, we should bring RICO because it's a very difficult type of charge to defend. Bill Barr was like very focused and bring the RICO case because he explained to Fannie Willis, the RICO charge is one of the most hard to defend in court because under the American law, the RICO charge can be anything. Like it's not very specific. So people who is charged with RICO case, they have a very hard time to defend themselves. We had this meeting with Fannie Willis. At that point, I didn't have idea about her, what she worked with. I just don't know her. And she presented herself as like someone who's close to Armstrong, someone who's attorney. And all the time I was like, okay, it's just like one more meeting that we had. And then in these meetings, that's when I started to take notes and like try to keep everything that to prove that what's going on. One thing that I understood very well is like Bill Barr and Armstrong and all the politicians too, they're very focused like in how they go to stop Trump. And one thing that I heard a lot is like how they go to prevent America to have Trump again. So in my views of politics, what I think it is, they probably realized very soon that if Trump runs again, he probably will win the election as he did. So in that point, they just want to like prevent that. One of these meetings, for example, was launched in March 15 of 2022. And this meeting was at Sinclair Broadcast. And in this meeting was when I like started to learn more about Fannie Williams and about some guy called Jack Smith, and about investigation involving January 6th. I have a quote here that was like, Barr believes the FBI will raise, and I put it in parentheses, go to Trump House soon. That's when was like, I start to learn and to be sure about what they're doing. Was like they're planning and they're create crimes and situations to go after everyone. In that meeting, we also spoke about the meeting that we had with Facebook, and the person in Facebook was helping us and giving us direction to create content against Trump and against the January 6th was called Daniele. That was like one of the first meetings that I had about this plan they had to go after everyone who works or support Trump. And that was back in September 13 of 2021. So in this meeting was me, Armstrong, Michael, and Bill Barr by phone. And they spoke about January 6th committee. They authorized the committee to investigate the events about January 6th. We started like with some names. They also gave a lot of names here. We have like Michael Flynn, Steve Bannon, Rudy Giuliani, Jeffrey Clark, Oath Keepers, Proud Boy People, Proud Boy Group, Scott Perry, Jim Jordan, a group called Stop They Steal, Brad, again, Hafesbergi, Seamus, Ruby Freeman, Patrícia Lélis, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, and we have some target people, which is like the people they want to target more, and that was like Stuart Rhodes, and Henrique Tarrio, and Roger Stone. And here I have a quote. It was like Barr and Cheney once focused at Roger Stone, Rhodes, and Tarrio, and Bannon. And also in Kimberly Guilford, who is close to Trump. Armstrong goes on TV, or he goes on social media, or he goes over his Twitter account or X account, and he claims he's Republican. He's this person who is like extremely patriotic. He loves his country and everything. But at the same time, he was lunch meetings with Bill Barr to plan against Trump and against people involved in January 6th. Armstrong never got caught for things that he does. He was inside of the Capitol Hill in January 6th. And then I started to understand he's never caught for that because he's friend with the mayor of DC. He was friend with the chief of police of DC. I'm talking about people who went to jail. And these people, they have families, they have lives. Some people with cancer, I know a case like with cancer, the person got arrested and went to jail because of January 6th. But at the same time, those people are there because people like Armstrong was telling them to be there, was telling them like, no, it's completely fine if you be here. And when the things start to happen over there, Armstrong is like, no, we can go inside and let's do this. So what kind of person does that with people?